Functions. You call a function by writing its name and then handing it some information. Here, I write the function name, POW. I hand it the information it wants, 95 and 2, which becomes 95 squared, which equals what? The 95 becomes the base, the 2 becomes the exponent. It gives me an answer, 9025. I write the absolute function's name. I hand it a negative value, negative 55. It comes back positive. Here I hand it a math job, 55 minus 60. Here is the absolute answer, positive, of course. Python has many more functions defined in its math module. Let's import that module. I can import space math, and I hit enter. This is an object-oriented module. Key in the word math and a dot. You will get a pop-up screen with a list of functions you can access within this module. You can scroll down the list and select the function you want. So here I key in math and a dot. And bingo, this pops up. I choose the sqrt function, square root function. So, let me repeat that. I key in math, the library name, and a dot, the dot operator, and the function name I choose, or I key it in, sqrt. I put in this number, where? Inside the parentheses. I hit enter, and it returns the answer. The square root of 9025 is 95. Let's check this on the calculator. 95 squared equals 9025. And the square root of 9025 is 95. So it checks. The floor function rounds floating point numbers down. Math.floor. And I'm going to give it a number in here, inside the parentheses. 234.222. I hit enter, and it gives me 234.0. It rounded it down. We can save time by assigning the string math.sqrt to a single variable, to a variable. Let's do it. My choice for a variable name is sqrt. sqrt. It sounds like square root. So I key in sqrt equal sign. And then the library name, math dot function name, sqrt. So it's library dot and then the function member. And now I test it. I key in sqrt and then in parens 7225. I hit enter and it gives me 85. So does this work? Is this the correct answer? Let's test it. It does work. The square root of 7225 is 85. Now, some built-in functions. Here's the built-in function, len. This is the string length function, len. I handed some characters. How many characters are here? ASDF. There's 4 characters. I hit enter, and bingo, it gives me 4. One more time. Length, len. I handed ASDF, that's 8 characters. I hit enter. Ta-da, I get 8. Notice the string that I handed is enclosed within double quotes. Now let's go to the max function, max. Which value is the biggest or maximum value in a list? Here is the list, 4, 5, 2, which is the maximum value. I hit enter, and it tells me 5. 5 is the biggest number in that list. Now I go to the next function that I know, min, M-I-N, which is the smallest number in the list. Which is the smallest number in the list? Min. Here's the list, 4132. I hit enter, and the smallest value it tells me is 1. Now let's use the compare function, CMP. I can't CMP this first number in the list. Right here is a 5. I'm going to compare that with this second number in the list, 4. I hit enter, and it returns a positive 1. Positive 1 means the first number, 5, is greater than the second number, 4. That's what the positive 1 means. Let's compare 5 and 5. I key that in and I hit enter and I get a 0. This means the first number, 5, equals the second number, 5. Let's compare 5 with 9. I hit enter and I get a negative 1. Negative 1 means the first number, 5, is less than the second number, 9. That's what a negative 1 means. How do you get help with functions in Python? Here's how. You key in the word help, parens, and then the name of the function. If it's within a library, key in the library name dot function name. Here, I keyed in help, parens, math.square root, close parens. And this is what I get when I hit enter. If Python is to work on small devices, then its libraries should not all be built in. They shouldn't all be built in, but should be importable. They should be importable. That was their original philosophy. This is Hoboken Gare.